everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Things happen in Maine. Unexplainable things. Things that defy conventional wisdom. Things too bizarre to be believed. Ghosts.
There are whispers in the wind and shadows in the night that haunt me still.
Cryptids.
Yeah, I may have been seeing things again, but I swear I seen a slimy manfish or something.
Demonic possessions.
Lords of the watchtowers of the west, ye lords of water, lords of death, we invoke you.
Some call it the supernatural, or the paranormal. Some claim there are forces outside our understanding, working just beyond our ability to perceive them. Many denounce these as superstition and the product of an overactive imagination.
Crinkle face, he is hiding in your space.
But what if they are real? What if hiding just beneath the surface of this ordinary, mundane world is something else? Something that can't be defined by logic and reasoning. Something malevolent. We investigate these stories because if we can pull back the veil and stare deeply into the abyss, then maybe we can make sense of all the unbelievable strangeness lurking just beneath the surface. This is Malevolent Maine.
Stay safe out there, Maine.
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised. Retrostatic Radio presents Killing 15 Minutes.
Hello and welcome to Killing 15 Minutes, where you get your true crime fix in 15 minutes or less, or your podcast is free. I'm your writer, Sam Rossi, and shortly I'll be handing over a rough draft of a script to my brother, AJ, who hasn't read it, who's most likely has no idea what we're talking about. This should be fun. Good luck, bro.
Thank you, Sam, for doing so much research on this one. Still not going to get it right. Wait, why am I reading the first line? That's your line.
Facebook made me do it.
Thank you. Stop making me say what you want to say.
It's your job.
I read the research. I don't read the Facebook's made me do it. Or the I would like to think. I don't know. I've listened to a couple episodes of Ouch or My Mom Will Shoot. No.
Ouch, was that a ghost?
Yes. I don't know why I stopped or My Mom Will Shoot was the first thing to go through my head. After hours of research and listening to multiple podcasts, Sam still does not know how to present this case. Over the years, it has become folklore. And we all believe that Lizzie Borden killed her father and mother, well, her stepmother. However, the truth may be much more unbelievable. Have you ever seen an axe? You want me to believe it or not? Decided to go with the fact or fiction opening. Andrew Borden was a frugal businessman. He forced his family of 4, his second wife and 2 daughters, to live minutes away from the industrial district without indoor plumbing, something the frugal man could afford as he was one of the richest men in Fall Rivers, Massachusetts. And being rich in Massachusetts is very different than being rich anywhere else in the world at this time.
This is true.
The night before the murders, Mr. Borden allowed John Morse, his brother-in-law, that would be the brother of his first wife who had died 20 years previously, who was around to do business with Mr. Borden, to sleep in the guest room. On Thursday, August 4th, 1892, Morse joined Mr. and Mrs. Borden and the maid Bridget Sullivan for breakfast. Morse left at 8:48 a.m. by oxen to visit another family member. Mr. Borden left for his walk at 9 a.m., roughly. Mrs. Borden went upstairs between 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. to make the guest bed. Forensics investigation believed that she was facing her attacker. The first hit with the hatchet caused her to fall face down on the floor. She was struck 17 more times. Wait, why was Mrs. Borden going up to fix the guest bed? They had a maid.
Because they only had one maid, and she had sent the maid to wash the windows.
Oh, thank you. You didn't tell me that in this.
I mentioned it later on.
Oh, okay. So this is just set up, and then we're going to talk about more later. Are you just saying that now?
I'm not sure anymore.
What did you write?
I don't know.
Could you pick them out of a crowd?
No.
Around 10:30 a.m., Mr. Borden had to be let into the house. Sullivan had to unlock the 3 lockers, which was unusual. Sullivan would testify that she heard Lizzie giggling at the top of the stairs. Lizzie would deny that she was ever upstairs. When asked by her father where his wife was, Lizzie said that she was out visiting a friend after receiving a letter by missive. Sullivan stated that she removed Mr. Borden's boots and gave him his slippers. Police photographs would contradict this, as he was still wearing his boots when he died. She would go to her 3rd-floor room after this. She had spent the mornings cleaning windows. Okay, that's where you brought that up. I think I know what you're setting out here, aren't you? Gonna paint the maid as the killer? 'Cause you're a monster. How dare you hate the working class so much, Sam? You and your ivory tower of being married to a ER registress? Registress. Anywho, around 11:10 a.m., Lizzie screamed, "Maggie, Maggie, come quick! Father's dead! Someone's come in and killed him!" Mr. Borden was slumped on the couch in the sitting room. He had been struck 11 times with a hatchet. His wounds had still been bleeding. Lizzie sent Sullivan to get Dr. Bowen from across the street. Mrs. Churchill, a neighbor, saw the commotion and decided to be a nosy Natalie and went over to the house. Dr. Bowen showed up and gave Lizzie morphine and powdered coke. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong here. Powdered caffeine. Why would you give an upper and a downer?
Oh, I know the answer to this.
Give me this answer.
The morphine was to level her out because she was supposedly hysterical, while the caffeine was supposed to keep her awake so she could answer questions.
Okay, so it's supposed to be this is to get you chill, and this is to keep you from being morphined.
Yeah, basically. I don't know why you want to mess up that high.
Well, because she might have just killed her parents. She was very awake, higher than a kite, during questioning. That's true. You are morphing them, and while you give them the caffeine to keep them up, now you've got them on uppers and downers. I'm going to tell you all a secret, okay? They don't level as much as a lot of people are like, oh man, if I take this caffeine, I'm going to, they don't cancel each other out.
No. I'd like to tell you a story.
No, we've still got plenty of time with Lizzie, because I also had a caffeine story and opioid. So mine was cooler with morphine.
Mine was with THC.
THC isn't a real drug. Get good, scrub. Initial questioning of Lizzie was confused and contradictory. First she heard a noise. However, then she said she heard nothing. Around 2 hours later, Lizzie asked to have the house searched, thinking that her stepmother had come home. Sullivan and Mrs. Churchill went up the front steps and found Mrs. Borden face down between the bed and the dresser. The house was never searched, even with a large number of police in the house. Despite her changing alibi, she was not covered in blood. I'm assuming that was Lizzie Borden?
Yes.
Okay. Police did kind of search the property, but they did not do a good job about it, stating Lizzie was feeling poorly. They found 2 axes, 2 hatchets, and the hatchet with a broken handle in the basement. The broken hatchet was suspected to be the murder weapon, thinking that the break looked fresh, and the dust and the ash on the head looked out of place. They did not take the tools, however. Due to the mysterious, possibly food poisoning, illness, everything was tested for poison. What? Due to the mysterious illness? Well, because Lizzie said she didn't feel well?
And the maid started feeling sick, was feeling sick that morning. It was most likely food poisoning because everybody was feeling sick. Because they did...
So what you're saying is that Lizzie Borden got mad cow disease.
Yes.
And that madness made her kill everybody.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Lizzie Borden didn't actually kill their parents.
Anyways, everything was tested for poison. None was found. Town folks rumored that Lizzie purchased hydrocyanic acid in diluted form from a druggist. Lizzie had inquired about a poison for her furs. Some were used to stop moths from eating the furs. Okay. On the night of August 4th, 1892, a friend of Lizzie and her sister, Emma, had agreed to stay the night. At some point, both Emma and Morse had returned to the house. Miss Alice Russell was their friend. The 4 plus Sullivan, along with officers stationed around the house, were in the house that night, and at some point Lizzie and Russell came downstairs with the lantern and a slop bucket. They went into the basement. When Lizzie came back up, she was seen washing the sink.
Washing at the sink.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. The following morning, Morse had to be escorted through a crowd of hundreds surrounding the house. The police started to do a more in-depth search of the house, the clothing, and they did eventually take the broken hatchet. However, that evening, the mayor and police chief came to tell Lizzie that she was their prime suspect. The next morning, the 6th, Russell walked in on Lizzie throwing a dress into the fire. Lizzie stated the dress was covered in paint. This dress was never found, probably because she was throwing it in
the fire.
There was an inquest into the murders on August 8th. Lizzie requested the family attorney present during her questioning. The court declined that request on account that the inquest was private. She had been prescribed more morphine to calm her nerves. Kinda missed those days when morphine was for nerves. Her behavior was erratic, and often she refused to answer many questions. She gave contradicting answers, like she was in the kitchen or in the dining room or in the barn at the time of the murders. On August 11th, Lizzie Borden was arrested and imprisoned. The inquest testimony was inadmissible in her trial in June of 1893. Newspapers reported that Lizzie Borden had a stolid demeanor. A grand jury indicted her on December 2nd. On January 5th, 1893, in New Bedford, Lizzie's trial started. Prosecuting attorneys were Hosea Knowlton and future Supreme Court Justice William H. Moody. Neat. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
The defense consisted of Andrew Jennings, Melvin Adams, and former Massachusetts Governor George Robinson. 5 days before the trial or the initial murder?
The 5 days before the trial.
Okay. 5 days before the actual trial, another axe murder occurred, very similar to the Borden's murder. A Portuguese immigrant was convicted of this in 1894. It was deemed that he was in Fall River at the time of the Borden's murders. Dun dun dun! The prosecution focused on the hatchet head as the murder weapon. Russell's testimony of the burning of the dress, though there was never a bloodstained item found in the house. The heads were admitted as evidence after the skin was removed and presented for the beginning of the trial. The heads! Not of the axe!
No, just the heads.
Of the parents?
Yes.
That's some evidence! I mean, at the same time, I kind of get it, because if you spread them out to be like a sheet, you'd easily be able to go, here's where the strikes were.
I see.
And
what
this is
you're saying.
1890s, so that's...
I think they glued all the heads back. They glued the head back together.
Stop talking! Okay? Again, this is where we talk about your flow when it comes to writing. The prosecution focused on the hatchet heads. The sentence right after that, they brought the heads in, skinned.
You're right. I should have started the next paragraph.
Kind of. The heads were admitted as evidence after the skin was removed and presented from the beginning of the trial. Lizzie fainted at their presentation. No shit. Look, whether she killed him or not, that is a man's head. For everyone who got that reference, thank you. For everyone else, there's MasterCard. The defense was basically a woman of fine standing, a member of the church, a lady for temperance. Oh, really? She was actually for... I did not know that. Basically, she got too uppity, is what I'm hearing. I'm sorry. The defense was basically that a woman of fine standing, a member of the church, a lady for temperance, someone who could not have murdered her parents, probably didn't murder her parents. After 90 minutes of deliberations, on June 20th, 1893, Lizzie Borden was acquitted. Outside of the Lizzie did it theory, there are a few more. One was John Morris had killed Mrs. Borden. Police stated that he had provided an absurdly perfect and overly detailed alibi for the death of Abby Borden. However, he was dismissed as a suspect. I don't know. Police stated that is a red flag. That is the reddest fucking crimson, bruh. Anyone who has a perfect alibi is shady as fuck.
I agree. But he was able to... His alibi was so airtight because he was able to pinpoint right where he was all day long.
This is 1892. I don't fucking believe it. You know why? There is no way to fucking verify. And right now, I'm kind of thinking that the senator is also looking kind of shady. I hate murder cases, especially famous murder cases, where you can go, oh, hey, you know who this person is? He becomes a Supreme Court justice. This person, he becomes this high-ranking officer. Because guess what? I don't trust the fucking government.
I know, but the prosecutor who failed to get the conviction became the Supreme Court justice.
Oh, really?
The guy who was...
Oh, right, she was acquitted. Author Aaron Brown suspected a William Borden was the illegitimate son, and when he couldn't extort money, he murdered the couple. Is there anything to follow up with that?
William Borden was never connected to being...
Those Bordens?
Those Bordens.
Okay. Emma Borden is considered a suspect even though she was 15 miles away. Some say that she had time to make it back to Fairhaven before the telegram telling of her parents' death. Kind of, I mean... It seems like there were several hours before anyone noticed anyone was dead.
Well, no, because Mr. Borden was killed a little after 11.
Another theory is that the maid did it. She was also in the house during the murders. Let me guess, you think the maid did it?
I don't think it was Lizzie, but I don't think it was the maid either.
Here's where I think it might be the maid.
Okay.
And it's one clue. It's one stupid thing. One major thing. I took his boots off and gave him his slippers. But he died in his boots.
Well, there's a theory...
That he put his boots back on?
That
it was a metaphor for a handy?
When the police showed up and saw him in his slippers, they put his boots back on.
Okay, I could see that. And that's the problem with 1800s fucking cops, period.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of those things where it's stupid in hindsight, but they didn't know. You know, that always comes up in all of the things we ever fucking talk about.
That's because I pick older cases for a reason.
So anyways, Lizzie Borden. I get, even in the 1890s, they knew the effect that morphine had on a person. As in, they knew about... It wasn't just for nerves. The reason it was for nerves was because it fucking tripped you out.
Yep.
Okay, even in the 1890s. So, and as much as my brain goes, okay, what the fuck were they covering? Because think about it this way. Let's cut the, Supreme Court dude. Testimonies from senators, from high-ranking business, and I understand it's because Andrew Borden was a wealthy son of a gun.
Yes.
But what the hell are they going to be testifying to? Outside of wanting a very open and shut case, you know?
If it was going to be such an open and shut case, it should have been a slam dunk. You know, you have two people that were in the house.
Yes.
You have two people that were in the house. You have two options on who could have done the murder. Lizzie. But that would mean that Sullivan, the maid, did not hear anything when Lizzie attacked
Her mom.
Mrs. Borden.
Yeah. And you'd assume that...
Or being 3 floors up, should have heard something going on down in the in the living room.
Well, the living room, because he was surprised. He wasn't...
Right, but you would have probably heard something.
You would have heard and here's, for me, if she was facing her attacker, the second the axe comes up, there's a scream. You know what I mean?
There's something.
There's going to be some form, like, I can understand, Lizzie going, I heard a noise. I didn't hear a noise. I think it was a Portuguese immigrant. There, case closed. I feel like a good white man now. I'm sorry, that was a terrible joke. Anyways, we're now at 21 minutes. So, final thoughts.
I don't think Lizzie did it. I don't know who did it. There's too many options.
I concur. However, she was acquitted.
She was acquitted.
If the axe head don't fit, you must acquit. And with that, I'm AJ Carey.
I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.
Killing 15 Minutes is hosted by Arthur Carey, with scripts written and researched by Sam Rossi. If you like this episode or want to stay updated on this series, consider following Killing 15 Minutes on Patreon or Retrostatic Radio on all major social media platforms. Good night and God bless.
You're watching Retrostatic Radio.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the Wheel of Randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.